Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Rahawah Kakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They continually rule very well. That's continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the Holy elect that's also doing the same things and giving our diligence in this work and our faith, true sincerity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled Esau Belongs on a Leash. Alright, which Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white race. You know, which they're also known as Caucasoid or Caucasian, in which that word Caucasian goes back to the word caucus, which means cave dweller. All right, because they came out of the Caucasus Mountains, and you know, these so-called white people, man, they belong on a short leash, because throughout the whole time as this man's been ruling, which so-called white man, which, you know, it's the international banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, you know, the higher ups of Esau. Ever since they've been in rulership, because they have a tight grip on the planet Earth. You know, whatever they have planned, legislation-wise, or anything that pertains to the society, you know, they're the ones that's working behind the scenes to build up what you see right now. All right, because their agenda is to have complete control over the people, which that's their ultimate goal, which is a part of their New World Order agenda, which they've been trying to enact for X amount of years. And ever since this man's been ruling, man, the whole earth has been languishing. The whole earth has been mourning. Everything that you see is messed up, turned backwards, or turned upside down. So that's why this so-called white man, Esau, has to be put on a leash, man. All right? Because every time this man has came into some sort of power, it always turns out to be wicked. All right? No matter what Esau does, it pertains unto destruction, no matter where he goes, man. Because his blessing is the sword. All right? Which is given to him by his father Isaac, right, when he were to inherit the blessing. But Jacob, which is the progenitor of the Israelites, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he received the blessing instead of Esau, because Esau doesn't keep anything sacred, man. All right. So with that being said, that's why Esau belongs on a chain, man. All right. Because if this devil continue to rule, you know, continue to have dominion over the planet Earth, then, you know, now no one of us are going to be saved, man. All right, because this man is going to run this planet Earth to the ground until he, you know, until he's satisfied. But this so-called white man, he's never satisfied with what he has, man. All right, that's why when he came to Jacob to you know, saying that he was gonna die because he, you know, he didn't have no food, you know, he was hungry, he was gonna die, which he could have waited, right? But he didn't. And the magnitude of him being impatient is for him him selling his birthright, or him giving his birthright over to Jacob. All right, which that was all done in the spirit, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the scriptures, not to ramble on too much longer. This is Genesis, the 25th chapter, and I'm gonna start at the 23rd verse. I'm gonna get straight to the point, because Esau was made to be our slaves, man. All right, he was made to be under servitude. He was never meant to rule the planet Earth. All right, and there's multiple reasons why he was never meant to rule the planet Earth. All right, I mean, look at what you see now, man. Look at the state of this current society and this current world that we live in right now, man. Because under the rulership of the so-called white man. That's why he needs to be in chains. All right, and his place is in chains. All right, like I said before, man, he was made to be a servant. He was never made to be a ruler. Okay. This verse 23 says, "And the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua said unto her," which is talking about Rebecca. It says, "Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels." And that's true. Two manner of people have been separated from our bowels, man. All right. That's why you have contentions between Jacob and Esau today. You got the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are come up against the so-called white man. The so-called white man come up against our people. So you have that constant battle between us and them. All right. And it also says two manner of people, in which one manner is in righteousness and the other manner is of wickedness. All right. So it says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. And the elder that came out, just to go ahead and summarize the whole passage, the elder which came out, you know, the firstborn was Esau. All right. And then afterwards came Jacob, in which Jacob held on to Esau's heel. All right. But it says right here, it says the elder shall serve the younger. All right. In which the elder is Esau, which he was meant to serve his brother Jacob. All right. There's a reason why his name is called Esau. You know, which the word Esau in the Hebrew means Aishash, which means wasted away is he. All right. You're not going to find that in the blue letter because, you know, these Edomites have kept some of the actually the blue letter has bones in it, should I say. All right. Because some things that are a part of 100% truth, or a part of the mysteries, should I say, you won't be able to find it in this using this one source. You have to go to another. All right. You know, it doesn't mean hairy, man. The reason why the scriptures speak about him coming out red as a hairy garment is because there was a garment, and I don't remember exactly the specifics of that particular garment, but there was a specific garment that's of a reddish color, and that's how Esau came out. All right. You know, he wasn't, you know, he didn't come out, you know, a baby. Because I'm gonna give you an example. What Edomite baby has ever came out hairy? All right. There's not one Edomite baby that's ever came out of the womb looking hairy, man. All right. But every single Edomite baby that ever came out of the womb always looked red. All right. So why is that? Because once again, going back to how Esau was born, he came out red all over like a hairy garment. You know, he wasn't hairy, but the reason why he was considered looking like looking red as a hairy garment is because, like I said before, you had a particular garment that was of a reddish color. Because his blood shows through his skin because he has no melanin. All right, that's the people of the Lord's curse. All right, you can find that in the scriptures. To go on from here, I want to go to the next scripture. All right, it's Isaiah, the 34th chapter, in the 5th verse. And this is where it's found. It says, this is Isaiah 34th chapter in the 5th verse. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea," which Idumea is a Greek word for Edom. right? And upon the people of my curse, the judgment. See? And these people are cursed, man. All right? These are the people of the Lord's curse. That's why, once again, that's why it came out red all over like a hairy garment. All right? When he has no melanin in the skin, really, that's a curse, man. And that's the curse of leprosy. You can find that in the book of Leviticus. Okay? But I want to move up from there. I want to get the book of Psalms 149 and start at verse 6. It says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. You see? So it says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, and that's exactly what's going to happen. All right? Because Esau is going to face this judgment on an all-time high. Actually, it's going to be double, pursuant to Revelations, right? Reward her double, even as she rewarded you. And but the thing is that not only Esau is going to receive this judgment, but also other nations are going to receive this judgment. All right? They're also going to be our slaves. But like I said before, Esau is going to take the brunt force of this judgment. All right? Now, I'm going to go back. Let's see. Go to the book of Revelations. Actually, Slocky, I want to get the book of see if I can get it real quick. Bear me for 1 second. I can't while I get it. This is First Maccabees, the first chapter. First Maccabees, the first chapter, and I'm starting at verse 7. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. See? So this is the legacy of Esau, which Alexander, the Greek, which was a so-called white man, which he was an Edomite. You know, he had his time to rule, right? In which that's was the start of the Greek Empire. And then you had his servants, right, that bear ruled after him. And then you had more Edomites that bear ruled after him because it was their time to rule. And evils were multiplied on the earth. All right. So wickedness started multiplying on the planet Earth, and guess what? The so-called white man is a rulership once again, and wickedness is being multiplied throughout the planet Earth. All right. So like I said before, man, every time this man comes in rulership, you know, wickedness always follows after him, man. You know, destruction. Now I want to grab one last precept, and I'm gonna close it on out. It's Revelations, the 13th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So this so-called white man has led into captivity. All right. And guess what? He's going to go into captivity. Okay. Such as if a man sow slavery, he's going to reap slavery. If he sowed a sword and destruction, he's going to reap the sword and destruction. All right, so he killed with the sword, right? And he's continually killed with the sword, and he's perfected the destruction using that sword. And guess what? The Lord is going to perfect his sword against Esau. All right, he's going to perfect the destruction of Esau. Okay, that's why the scriptures speak about the plagues will come in their perfection against this so-called white man. So that's pretty much it on this video, man. Like I said before, man, these Edomites